Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, season 2, episode 4. It's getting good.
It is. I freaking love Summer House. It doesn't take too long to heat up. They're always serving normal, real drama.
Because we're in the summer. It's always hot.
I need more relationship drama from Lindsay is all I'm going to say, but we got some. So we're getting it.
Yes, agreed. Okay, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta, Vanderpump Rules podcast, and we have One Season Wonders, the show that will take Meredith and I to new fame and fortune, because that's the show where we find a show that only had one season. We talk about it, and everyone tells me it's a great idea, but no one listens. So check that one out.
Go for the underrated podcast of One
I'm
Season
telling
Wonders.
you, we've gotten one message about how great it is, and we live off of that.
But here's the thing: is all we have to do is stand it, and it'll keep going.
Yeah, no. If all of our podcasts were to die, that's the one I'd be like, this is what we're keeping.
Okay,
forever.
We talked about our fake envisioning us being roommates. I could do One Season Wonders and be roommates with you. Yeah,
I could do that too. So if we ever become roommates, the other podcasts die. This is the one we're doing. Done. Okay, what else? Please rate, review, subscribe. We have no new reviews on this podcast given it's not being released yet, but like just fucking review it, okay?
Now that it is being released and you're listening to it.
Oh, you're right.
Just go and rate it. And if not, then fine. Wait for Winter House. I get it for the live season, but at least do it whenever Winter House is live.
And at least give us 5 stars, at least. Give us 6 if you can.
Pretty please.
But give it to us. Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. I know I'm lagging. It's not the live seasons. During the live seasons, I'm always on. So I'm taking my break.
I know. This is your summer break. You're good.
It's like school.
Go pop in one little picture in there and all will be well.
But also join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. So for $1 a month, you get access to all of our pre-shows where Meredith and I talk about our lives, our future and becoming roommates while we're watching what we will probably watch as roommates.
Yes.
You never know. One Season Wonders, baby. What else do you get for $1 a month? Hang on.
Just our shenanigans, basically.
And you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. That's why I said we have no new reviews, because this one's not airing yet when we're recording it, but it's airing now because you're listening to it. You get it. It's fine.
Alicia, time equals that.
What is really time? It's just a construct.
All I know is time means that you could have had this before.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, well, eventually time won't matter. So for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after shows that we do when we go back and watch old seasons, because we don't want to give away spoilers, but we got to talk about Bravo news and any thoughts we have. I had some thoughts during this.
I have a thought that I'm going to make sure I write down right now, because I always forget my thoughts.
I was going to say, I know I have a thought. I just don't remember it. And then also I'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dustin, Jackie, Casey, Kimberly, Cameron, Tiffany, Tracy, Gina, Jennifer, Kelsey, Mariah, and Sarah. One breath. Ooh, ooh. You guys are the best. Okay, and then for what am I saying? $5 a month. It's been a while since we've done this. You get access to everything I just mentioned, plus for live shows. Guess what?
There's a lot coming up.
My God, our shows never die. Okay. As we're saying, we're going to quit eventually. Nope, never. For live shows, you get to give us your thoughts, your opinions, your questions, and we will read them, answer them, comment on them on the podcast, give you a shout out. We always love having other people give us their opinions, because we tend to agree most of the time. So we need other people to not agree with us so that we can get ourselves in check. And then also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this week's, or I guess this episode's patron of the episode is Kimberly.
Woo-hoo.
Who's been with us since March. Shout out. That means there was a live season then, but I'm sure she's going to stick
around for all the goodness.
We want Kimberly's opinions. We hope she sticks around. If not, we understand. But Kimberly, this episode is for you, girl.
So this episode is brought to us by you.
By Kimberly. Okay, so that's it. That's my rambling. Let's get into this episode.
Let's
Actually,
do it.
this is just the beginning of my rambling because we haven't even started.
Get ready for one more hour of rambling Alicia.
Oh my God, everyone just turns it off now.
You're like, actually, that was
Nightmare.
enough for me.
This is why my parents don't listen. I talk enough. So shout out Judy and Joe. Previously on Summer House, there's already drama. We've only been here a few weeks, but that doesn't matter. Kyle and Amanda think they have this whole couple thing figured out, but then they had a fight and Amanda slept in the bathroom. I don't know why that makes me laugh. It's just kind of funny. Lindsay is single girl. She's having hot hub summer. She's doing her thing. She's trying to get with the meat. They made out. He's denying it. Oh, well, she doesn't care. Lauren and Carl, they are a thing again, which it's ruining the entire summer house. They don't want anyone in their business. But guess what? If you're hooking up in the summer house, it's everyone's business.
Yep.
Sorry about it. And then Danielle, to try and bring the roommates together, she brought everyone to the Shinnecock Nation, and everyone was getting along, and it was a beautiful time. And we pick up right there. It's Saturday, 9:13 p.m. We just left the Shinnecock Nation. We're all in a good mood. We're at the house. Hey, it's the Good Vibe Tribe.
I love that. I'm about to make a shirt.
Yeah, the Good Vibe Tribe.
Yes.
I bet they're unapologetically full because they're the Good Vibe.
I mean,
Tribe.
I by the end of once we move in together, I'm gonna have a whole T-shirt line from all of our things.
All we're gonna wear is our T-shirt.
Oh my God.
We check for ticks, which is just really everyone feeling each other up.
I think it's so funny because I feel like us Midwesterners are like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I was like, are we seriously just like gonna sit here and check for ticks?
Because
all
Lauren's
day?
like, make sure you check for ticks. We walked through some tall grass, and I'm like, you probably walked through one bush to get to your car.
It's very dramatic. But remember, Lauren had a tick go to her cooch that one time.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
last season it like crawled to her, and then she joked with Carl, and he was like, "I'd want to be there too if I was a tick."
I mean, your memory
People
about this
forget.
tick scene is that lives rent free. Clearly,
People don't forget when they become traumatized. Okay. So then we make BBC bananas, Baileys, and coconut before we go out.
I want one so bad.
I don't.
And they put them in shark cups.
That's fun.
I mean, this is right in line
time.
with the 21st birthday I'm throwing this weekend. I'm like, where do I get these cups and how do I make some
pumped.
BBCs?
So we go to a friend's house. No one else came to this party besides the Bravo Summer House, but that's okay because Kyle still gets super drunk.
Oh God.
And he falls asleep on the couch. Amanda's then forced to babysit him and take him home. Kyle runs away from her, which is fucking hilarious.
God,
That's drunk people vibes.
He is just ticking off the boxes of just like making her more and more annoyed because then they like get in a taxi and go home and he falls asleep in the taxi too.
Yeah, it's 3:21 a.m. and you just see Amanda yelling like, fine, you figure out your way in, and like walks in the door.
Oh man.
So Amit also came home. Drunk Kyle, you know where he's gonna go. He's gonna go to the kitchen. He has one personality trait when he's drunk.
He wants to eat.
He's hungry. So Amanda's upset because she's like calling Kyle. Kyle's clearly busy. He's in the kitchen.
Well, it's kind of scary. It's kind of like a dementia patient. You're like, I gotta get him like wrangled into the room. Like I'm worried he's gonna like go out the front door and where he's gonna find himself.
Yeah.
And like he's not capable of taking care of himself.
He just wants to eat.
He needs like an assisted living care when he gets hammered.
Like a life alert.
Yeah.
Like I've got.
He needs a shock collar, like a dog shock collar.
Like a dog. Oh, actually, that's
he's a dog. He's a dog.
Put up an electric fence when he's drunk. Put a shock collar on him. He can't leave.
Just put it in his vicinity of his room so he can just like stay in his room.
So Amanda's just sad because Kyle always has to be drunk when they're together, and Kyle and Amanda get into a drunk fight, but Kyle doesn't really care because he's gonna get in the bed anyway, and then he farts his worries away.
Wait, the best is he goes, "Are you gonna lay on top of me?" And he's laying on top of her. He's like, "Why are you laying on top of me?"
Why are you on top of me?
Like, all right,
He's the best. He's the best. So now it's 6:04 a.m. everyone else makes it home, and I want to know how fun this party was because there was no one there.
I for a minute just wondered if they like shot their little bit of scenes in a random room at the party.
Oh, and then went out or something.
And then like there were actually other people there, but they just didn't want to film them.
So yeah, everyone else makes it home except Steven, because he gets home half an hour later at 6:34 a.m. And that's when Carl calls for Lauren, which again, where were we this half hour? She should have just gotten straight in your bed.
No, I wonder if I think Carl heard walking outside and thought it was Lauren, or like outside of his bedroom. It was like Lauren, like wondering if that was her.
Well, Lauren's ready to go because
Lauren was happy to receive that call.
Steven straight up goes into Lauren's room and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm gonna go sleep in Carl's." And he's like, "Don't do it. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna end bad."
She's like, "Sorry, I can't hear you."
Lauren's like, "Actually, I'm a grown woman and I'm gonna take no responsibility for my actions."
And I'm going straight there.
I'm gonna do it.
That's where I'm going.
And their bed is so creaky. They're not even hooking up yet, and it's like
I have been curious if Bravo dubs over the creaks, but I just don't think they're that shady.
No, we're gonna creak.
Honestly, if that were my bed, the first thing I would do is find a little wrench or like a whatever you need to tighten that shit up. Because like for my own sleeping, I would need it to be in better shape, let alone
Meredith's just climbing into bed and it creaks and she's like, "I can't work under these conditions."
Can you imagine breathing and it like in the middle of the night and it goes
or you just move in your sleep and it
I would wake up.
It's bad. So then it's Sunday, 10:18 a.m. People are starting to emerge, but we don't get any action till 11:05 a.m. Danielle gets into bed with Steven to listen to his gentle rain noises that he has while he's
blossoming friendship.
Me too. Steven really likes Danielle and I support this.
Because let's be honest, Steven was closer with Lauren, but she's distracted by Carl and Steven doesn't want to deal with things with Carl.
Who's not distracted by Carl, am I right?
Steven needs a new buddy and Danielle is like, "I'm here."
Danielle's ready. And then that's where Steven tells Danielle he met someone, but he doesn't want to talk about it right now because he's kind of hungover, so we're not gonna deal.
I'm like, I want the details. This is the only good thing about a fun night out where you have no clue what happened to other people, so you get the details the next morning.
I know. So Amanda's in a weird mood right now. And Kyle just doesn't understand. Like, he had a long weekend, cut him some slack. He's
okay, but he says this like every fucking weekend. He's like, "Why wouldn't she just cut me some slack?" And I'm like, okay, if you got hammered one weekend or uncontrollably hammered one weekend out of the summer, I don't think she would care. Do you?
No, but this is Kyle. He has his whole idea of summer is get hammered every weekend. So Amanda's mad because he's not changing from single boy to relationship boy, and he expects his girlfriend to be okay.
And add the layer of, "I can't see you during the week. We have the weekends."
Oh yeah, he totally cuts her out during the week. So
he's like, "I'm gonna pigeonhole you into an hour every morning on the weekend."
No, it's while they drive down. That's their moment because he's driving, so he's sober.
I was thinking about that when they're driving home at the end of this episode, and everybody's like, "You guys are." Maybe it's at the end of this weekend when they're like, "You guys have your own your own time," and I was like, Kyle probably thinks this is quality time with Amanda.
This is it. This is the moment they have. Danielle wakes up Lauren and Carl, super awkward. She just kind of storms in and she's like, "Is Lauren in this bed?" Ooh.
I was like, this is uncomfortable. You don't need to do this. You're not besties with either of these people.
Unnecessary. Steven blows up all the pool toys, and then Danielle goes outside to join Steven, and she's like, "Tell me about the boy you just met." So we find out it was a Marine, and he was hot, but he was totally unavailable. Why? Because he's not out of the closet yet.
I love how Danielle's like, "How does that work?" And he, do you just say like, "Don't tell anyone"? And Steven like is like, "Yeah, basically."
I like Danielle. I feel like most people here would have just been like, "Oh, sorry, he's like not out." But Danielle really sat here and was like, "How does that work? Like, does that make you upset? Have you done that before?
Yeah.
Like, why do you choose to date
digs
guys
in
who aren't out?"
And Steven says like, "Oh, I basically always choose unavailable people. That's probably like why I'm into this guy."
Yeah, he says it's easier because it's only like you can only take the relationship so far, right? You don't have to tell your family or your friends.
This is how I am. I mean, not about the gay situation. Obviously, I don't have to like tell my family. My family doesn't just like approve of what I'm doing. But
we
like,
have commitment issues. That's what that's
yes,
called.
I'm like, nope. Ooh, I like people who aren't into me because then it cannot go anywhere.
Yeah, it's just me having a huge crush.
Well, then if it accidentally something happens, you're like, well, this can't work out. This already got too far.
That's true. So yeah, and like Steven's parents still struggle with his sexuality. So he's kind of working through that aspect. Like he's out, but his parents aren't comfortable with it. So that kind of pushes Steven more towards being less proud of who he is.
Yeah. It's probably
And
hard because then
so-
if you did get into a relationship, that's another thing you can't share with your family. Like
Yeah.
if it's still a hookup, that probably feels like he's not pushing the
You're
boundaries
not
of his
lying
family
to
a
your
little bit
family.
further. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there is nothing to share. Like no kid like displays all their hookups to their parents. So
Yeah.
it's like this is something normal you'd hide from your family, not because he's
Exactly.
gay.
Exactly. So I get where Steven's coming from. It just breaks my little heart.
I know. I want him to have like the best
Just be
family.
the happiest. I know. So it's 11:22. Lauren and Lindsay are hungover by the pool. They're struggling. Lauren is over her job as a senior executive assistant, which again, I did not know until last episode, which like fascinates me.
I love the full title you gave.
That's what it says. And then we talk about Everett. I love too how Lauren's like, wait, we haven't talked about Everett in a long time. What's up? And it's like,
my
Lauren,
God.
every time Everett is brought up, you make it about yourself.
Flip out.
We tried last episode to talk about Everett.
I'm so happy you said that because I laughed so hard when she was like
died.
sitting and she's like, man, we just really haven't talked about you and Everett this summer.
And I was like, we were trying.
Well, yeah, we tried a few times, hon.
So then, whatever, Lindsay talks about how she and Everett are creating space between each other and they're trying to think clearly about the relationship, but Lindsay still misses him. But right now, Lindsay's just trying to have sex with any rando.
Her explanation is kind of weird. Like, we're trying to think clearly about our relationship. I'm like, no, you're seeing other people.
We didn't get like, did we get a solid reason why they broke up, or did we just watch like the toxicity last season?
We watched the toxicity.
So there was no, for me at least as a viewer, there's no closure, right? There's no like Lindsay and Everett broke up, and maybe because
we know that there were, I'll say, quote unquote reunions that were on Watch What Happens Live, but they're not with the seasons anymore. So we didn't watch the reunion for season 1. So maybe they talked about it on that.
Maybe. I just wish there was like because obviously Lindsay was like, it just wasn't working out. We broke up, which is fine. But then for her to still be like, we've agreed to take space and we're thinking clearly is like, it's not like, you on a
that's
break
a statement
then?
I would say for like, we're taking a month apart, like 1 month or something,
or
traveling
2 weeks or something. So we're not going to be together.
We're focusing on ourselves and seeing what, like, to make a plan for the future.
I think I'm not a big fan of like breaks in relationships, but I think like if something traumatic happens, like a death in the family where one person's like, I just can't have this relationship right now. I think that's fair. If someone's like, I have to go overseas to like work or something, that's fine.
But I think like, with a break, you need like an end date for the break to say we're gonna meet back up and decide what we want.
It's like, is someone just gonna call the other one day and be like, break's over, what up?
Yeah, like let's meet and actually decide this now after
I just
so much time.
Closure. I want more closure.
I do too. I want to know where the hell Everett is. I want to see Everett.
Yeah, I want to know if Everett's hooking up with other people.
I want to meet up at a coffee shop on camera.
Where they yell at each other. I love that.
Where she says, I'm going to sleep in a bed with a guy.
Yeah. That might be one of my top 10 ever favorite moments.
I like because she like hunches down to try and get him to look at her, but he doesn't look at her.
So she just keeps yelling. It's great. It's so good. Okay, so it's 11 or no, wait, now great. We finished that conversation. Lindsay wants her sex
too, basically.
I am, yep. So it is Sunday, 11:45. Kyle is alive. He slept with his clothes on last night. But immediately he's got to turn it on because Julio is calling.
Wait, but I'm pretty sure Amanda goes, Julia's on the phone with an A. And he's
Julia.
like, and he goes, Julia. And I was like, oh shit, is another girl calling Kyle? And he goes,
that's what I thought.
Julia.
I thought it was Julia. I was like, who's this girl? And then I was like,
ooh,
Julio. Did I just hear wrong?
No, I'm pretty sure on my subtitles it said Julia.
Amanda would have said Julio, but she knows
Yes.
it's Julio, and then she got confused with Julia.
Yeah, but it's not like he puts in the phonetic saying of people's
But if
names.
it's Julio, I would go like, oh, Julio's calling. But I'm sure Amanda has heard Kyle say Julio, and it just like word vomit. Julio didn't sound right, so she just said Julia.
She knew Julia was wrong.
Like
so
she
Julia,
wasn't looking at it. She was just like, oh, Julia's calling. And he was like, who?
She's like, I don't know either.
Call from. See, I have explanation points. I go, Kyle's getting a phone call from Julio, just because I was like, who the fuck is Julia? So my little poor Latin boy Julio just is gonna be known as Julio. Kyle asked Julio last episode to invest 25K in his app, Phoenix.
Isn't that much, right? If you're an investor.
It depends how much Kyle's made from this app already.
Good point. But I feel like 25K investment ask is not really that crazy.
But it's like Shark Tank. It's like for how much in stake in your company.
True. But that's what I'm saying. Like for an investor to invest that small of amount.
I don't think it's like a big amount, but Julio is probably like,
Kyle's
getting drunk all the time.
Risk is still there.
Yeah, Kyle's
I'm just thinking Shark Tank too. I feel like they always ask for like $100,000.
I love Shark Tank. This is all this reminded me of.
Yeah.
Because then Julio's like, hey Kyle, I think you're gonna be really successful and all that, but you need to show me evidence that this market exists. And Kyle's like, it does. It's a $10 million market. And Julio's like, that's not evidence. Like you saying it changes my mind 0%.
Well, he says the fitness market is whatever amount you just said. Yes. Not that this like niche personal
dietitian or nutritionist
has its own sub market within the fitness market.
Also, I would like love this app if someone was like, this is what you should make to eat every day. Great. My problem is I don't want to pay for this. If I really cared that much, I would just buy it or like hire a nutritionist to help me.
And like, I think I would want both. I would want a person to tell me what workout to do that day and what to eat that day. And like, give me a full week meal thing where we discuss what I like to eat. Like, you're right. Like I'd rather sit down with someone and like make a plan. Yeah. And like have recipes where it's not like this is what I should eat today. It's like, here's 10 recipes that work.
So Meredith, do you remember when we worked together? I accidentally signed up for personal training.
I will never forget this. Yes.
And he made me write down everything I ate. And at one point, he made me, because he's like, I want to see what you eat normally.
Did you count every handful of goldfish you ate every day?
No. I just would put like goldfish. And then I put on there cookie run. And he was like, what the fuck's a cookie run? And it was a thing that Meredith and I would do every day and go buy a cookie.
I literally just told somebody about this last week.
I just remember him being like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, it's where my friends and I go get a cookie. And he's like,
I went to
cookie
the
every day.
Store, basically, I went to the grocery store last week to go get butter because my house was out. And this girl literally texted a gif of a cookie. And I was like, Emma wants cookies. And so we got them. And I was telling this girl how we used to go get cookies at like 3 o'clock every day.
It was like, hey, cookie run?
Half price cookies. How could you say no?
Every day. So sorry. Okay, so that's why I don't want someone seeing my every move, because
then I have to be honest, and I don't want to be honest.
I need to get ridiculed for my cookie run.
From a cookie
run. So Julio decides he's not a fit for Phoenix. And as on the show Shark Tank, he's out. He's done. He's not going to do it. So Kyle's bummed because
now he has to be the whole financier. I don't know if that's a word, but the financial backing for the whole company.
Whole company. But this
which I was thinking, where does he get money from?
He actually gets so drunk that people feel bad for him, so they give him money for a cab to get home, but he pockets that and makes Amanda take him home for free.
I mean, I guess like there's no way Phoenix has this many users where he's like making money.
Bird Dogs made it, man.
I
He's
guess
making
that's
billions. True. I don't know. I think Kyle, no offense, probably comes from like a richer family. I'm sure he has some sort of savings. I'm not saying his parents like now flip him money. I'm saying I'm sure as a kid or as a like college kid,
like
his parents kind of
he doesn't have student loans.
Yeah, he was able to save.
And then like he did work for Bird Dogs, and so it's like he has that money in his
savings. He
still
has income, yes.
And maybe he's like still an investor, so he's getting money from that.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's still rough. So
it really made me think, where the hell's Kyle's rent money
financial
from?
Kyle, give us your tax statements. We gotta see it.
I don't understand entrepreneurship.
So even though Kyle laid on top of Amanda and farted on her after a drunk night, he now needs Amanda to support him because he's upset. So they're gonna go get something to eat.
Maybe he needs her financial support too.
Maybe.
He's like, can you pay for lunch?
Like, fine. But Amanda's what? A graphic designer? Yeah. Maybe Amanda. I feel like Amanda's the type to maybe come from some money because she doesn't seem concerned about this summer house, whereas Danielle's like, I'm gonna be poor.
Yes. Yeah, but Danielle doesn't have a job either.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think you would talk about like financial, like paying for stuff unless it's kind of part of your storyline. That's true. And Danielle only mentioned it that one time.
I want to know all these people's incomes and where their money is coming from. I just want to know
whose college was paid for. Yeah, you know, what's your somewhat budget?
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm in the summer house, and this is how much I make a year, and this is how much I have to pay in debt right now.
This is what my rent costs.
Yes. End of story. And then
you don't even need to tell me your income. Just tell me what your rent costs, because that'll tell me everything.
And how much debt you pay a month.
Yes. Yes.
Done.
There it is.
Okay, so Steven and Lauren are in the pool, and Steven asked Lauren, when was the last time you and Carl fucked? Ooh. And she said a long time ago. And Steven just hates this relationship. And I get it, because I have hated a relationship.
Well, and he doesn't believe her. I don't really believe her.
No, absolutely.
You're telling me after Pride, you guys just made out?
We drunkenly just lay next to each other. We barely touch.
Okay, but also, like, how far are we saying? Like, are we actually saying all the way? Or
also, is a long time ago a few weeks or a few hours?
I don't know. It's very vague. And I think Steven basically says that when he's like, you're putting on a front.
Also, I get it. I have hated some of my friends' relationships sometimes because I know it's going to pull me in and make my life harder. Yeah, but I hate it. And
I hate when it's a situationship that's pulling you in. I'm like,
that's true.
If it's a situationship, it should be like chill.
Yeah. Lauren's not chill girl at all.
Lauren Work is chill? Never.
Only when remember when she smashed a cake in his face? She was chill girl.
Oh my gosh, she tried so hard to be chill girl.
So Lindsay and Amit played tennis while Danielle watches. And Lindsay's super bad. She's not seducing Amit at all. She's better at kicking balls.
To take every opportunity to be like, you're not good, you suck. I mean, he's not trying to tear her down, but he's trying to be like, I'm not into you, and these are the reasons why.
I think that means he's like more into her, like, because Lindsay is unapologetically herself, and that's super hot. Like, I wish I was constantly like,
that's true. She has great confidence. So maybe he is bantering with her, being like, you suck at this.
I think so. And I think she's like, so and then Ashley calls Lauren. Ashley's gonna come back to the summer house soon, next episode to be exact.
I can't wait.
Ashley asks about Carl, and Lauren's like, I don't know how to tell you this. And Ashley's like, fucking say the words. So Lauren tells Ashley they kissed, and Ashley cannot hide her disgust at all.
No,
poker face.
This is the reckoning that the house has been wanting.
Yeah. And I mean, so Lauren's just going to stick around until it's not fun. And Ashley's like, it's going to not be fun.
Yes. That's
like, I'm telling
any day
you
now, honey.
And then she cannot believe Lauren's thinking about dating Carl again. But, Lauren says this time it's different. It's just the funniest.
Says every girl. Also, I love how Ashley's like, listen, I don't even care what's going on anymore. When I come, we are having fun. We're not doing this shit.
She's like, I'm going to kill Carl. That's what's going to be fun. We're having fun.
It's like, can I get a paintball gun and Carl just stand there?
Someone hold him down. All right. Okay. So
no way. It'd be way more fun if he just ran across the yard.
He was like trapped, but she was like up above shooting
hunting
him.
Season.
Yeah. So we go to lunch with Amanda and Kyle. It's weird because they claim they never fight. And all we've been doing is watching them fight.
If a camera doesn't catch it, it didn't really happen.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But Amanda's a smart girl in a relationship. She knows she needs a refresh, and she knows Kyle's taking her for granted. So what does she do? She tells Kyle that next weekend she's going to go hang out with her friends instead of Kyle. And Kyle's like, wait, are you saying you're not going to deal with my drunk ass next weekend? And she's like, yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. He's like, how could you do this today of all days? I just got burned by Julia.
Kyle's fragile. Julio.
I'm like, I knew I was saying it too right.
Julio's right, but that sounds wrong for some reason. Kyle's in a fragile place. He just got punched in the dick, and we cannot believe Amanda's going to put her needs before his.
I would punch him in the dick if he said this to me and be like, you're gonna go spend the weekend with your friends, and I'm like, you don't even pay attention to me anyways. No,
straight up, I love Amanda, right? This man won't let her hang out with him during the week. On weekends when they do hang out, he gets absolutely trashed and she has to babysit his ass.
And he's not appreciative. No. He's mean.
And then he expects her to take him out to a nice lunch because he's broke. Because Julio didn't give him any money. So, you know what Amanda's doing? She's going to say, you enjoy a weekend without me. Do whatever the hell it is you do. Get drunk.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder, hopefully.
Go get drunk. Go hang out with your friends. Don't let me be a burden to you as you claim I am. And we'll just see how much food you eat since I'm not going to have my wallet.
Oh my God, he's going to gain like 20 pounds.
So there it is. Okay, so it is now Sunday, 4:05 p.m. Amit farts in Carl's bed. Crazy. Boys are crazy. Lauren and Lindsay talk about how Amanda's not going to be here next weekend, and they're very sad because like Amanda's kind of a mini Ashley for Lauren.
Well, and I love how they're like, they came back from lunch and then she said it. Like, like something must have happened at lunch.
Something happened. When really, it's just
I'm like,
Amanda
no, she just told Kyle at lunch. She probably decided.
Yeah. So Lindsay agrees it's probably a good idea because she should have probably done that last year, but she did. She left to go sleep in a bed with a guy,
but she didn't actually. I don't think.
I don't either. I think
it was idle threats. Amanda's like, this ain't a threat. This is just happening.
This is just happening. Lindsay went back to find Everett and she's like, you're sleeping? You thought I was gone?
You're the bed and the guy I'm going to sleep with.
But yell at. Okay, so Danielle asks Lauren in the kitchen if Lauren told Ashley about Carl. And Lauren says she did and Ashley hates it. And then Danielle's like, just don't like keep this from us, right? And I don't think Danielle also goes,
I'm not judging. I'm just saying, stop keeping it a secret.
Yeah. And then Lauren's like, why is Danielle concerned? Listen, I agree. I don't think Danielle.
Isn't it this day's morning that she like woke up Lauren and Carl in the bed? So it's like girly, like
it's not looking
distance.
Good.
Stop talking about it. Like pretend you do not care.
As an ex, you're kind of like, just tell me so I can know. Right. Like, plus I think they are making this situationship like everyone's business in the house.
Yes. But so Danielle's like dipping her toes into it. Everybody else is being splashed by it.
Yes, she shouldn't be dipping.
Like Danielle needs to ask other people what's going on so she gets the info from a different party.
True. Danielle, you got to be chill girl here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 7:08. We're heading back to the city. We're now in New York City. We're back. It's great. We love it. Monday, Lindsay steps out on her balcony and goes, hello, New York. And
I've always wondered.
Hated it.
Yes. I've always wondered what people thought when she did that.
Oh my God. There was that one person that's like on a phone call and is like, what the fuck? Shut up. It was probably 7 a.m.
She probably just moved here is what people think.
She's crazy. She's obviously not from here. Tuesday, Carl and Amit grab drinks and we find out Amit is going to bring his sister. We skip Wednesday. Go straight to Thursday. Remember when Carl got fired from his job? Well, he's interviewing to work via a dental startup, and he has 3 months to prove himself. If he meets his numbers, he's going to be a full-time employee. So that is exciting.
I'm very curious how this is going to go.
Lauren, meanwhile, has been a senior executive assistant for 5 years, and we saw her allocating receipts. And so she is tired and she doesn't want to do that anymore. So she's looking to partner with her friend at her friend's business. I don't know what they're going to do. We got no background.
They talked a lot of vague words.
Yeah, like if I'm invested in the business, I'm going to make sure that we are profitable. And it's like that great. Girl is
maybe you should call amazing. Julio and
Julio. Oh my God, he's never going to give you money. It's not his name. I really want a statement from Julio that's just like, this is how to pronounce my name.
Here's the phonetic spelling.
I just need to know, pronounce my name. How does he prefer it?
Well, Julio could probably help Lauren here, because investing means we're going to make it work.
We're going to be profitable. My God. I love all like the very vague business talk of like,
I'm like, business.
I love vague business talk. Like I love when they're on the phone and they're like, did you get my email? Did you see the pie chart? And it's like, who?
Oh, I love it so much, because it's like they don't actually want to put their real business on camera. But there's people out there who like are working in business talking like this. And I'm like, you know nothing.
No, those are the VPs that have not actually like seen anything in a long time. And they're like, can you explain that pie chart to me, Sally?
Like, and how's the business going? We're good?
Profitable. We got positive numbers.
We're good. We selling things.
What's our revenue?
Are our margins good? Those are the big margins
good. That is exactly what I was thinking of. I was like, how do they say it? That's it. Are our margins good?
They don't care for selling shit or like the quantity of things we're selling. They care if our margins are good.
I also love like that one time Steven was in Central Park. Also, I get this, like before pandemic life, you could get a phone call at any time and you'd like have to work, but also like you were probably at your desk. Steven's like in Central Park on a full phone call, like zooming in on some PowerPoint. And he's like, did you see the numbers? And we're like, what? Why are you here?
This is all very realistic in pandemic. I'm like, I can work from a park.
But still, you would know. No one would call you out of the blue. My boss calls me out of the blue. I'm ignoring it.
My sales rep will call me, and I have been at the beach once, and I'm like, I'm at the beach in case you hear anything in the background.
It's just so funny. No one in New York is like this, but it's hilarious. Okay, so Friday, 3/28, everyone's packing up on this rainy New York City day because we're gonna go to the Hamptons.
Woohoo!
Kyle's gonna really miss Amanda this weekend. Carl and Lauren are driving down alone because no one wants to be in that car. But they're preparing for Cookie to really let loose because Amanda's not here.
Which, did they call him Cookie last season?
Sometimes like Ashley and Lauren and Lindsay do.
I'm so curious where this name came from.
Cookie. Yeah, they do a little bit. Christina never did.
Oh, good God. Christina. We do not need Christina to drop back up.
Yeah, this is where Lauren is like, oh, I'm gonna miss Amanda because she's my replacement Ashley. And Carl's like, oh, I miss Ashley. And I'm like, no, you don't.
I think he somewhat does. I think Ashley does bring a good vibe to the house. That's fun. And I bet he would rather have Ashley than Danielle at this moment in time.
That's true. But Ashley and Lauren haven't been talking as much because, you know, they're busy, but they did have the talk about Carl. And like Lauren's getting a lot of heat, but it's okay. And Carl like hates seeing Lauren upset because he's lucky to even be in the same car as Lauren.
This whole conversation, they're like, oh, I've just been busy. I'm like, no, you've been avoiding her. Let's be honest.
Because we know what her reaction.
And Carl, you don't care that Lauren's getting heat. You're trapped in a car with her for the next like 2 hours.
He's lucky to be trapped in the car with her for 2 hours.
He's a good like guy, sweet talk, but not too far.
Yeah. Because then they're like, also things are so weird with Danielle. And Carl's like, Danielle's totally struggling with the past because she still has a thing for me. And Lauren's like, yeah, she's meddling in our lives. Carl's going to have a talk with her because Lauren doesn't want to look like a fool.
I mean, just so much bullshit going on in this car.
Do you know how offended I'd be if my ex is like, she clearly still has feelings for me? I'd be like, no.
Okay. Kyle brings it up later, and I think it's so funny when he goes,
so funny.
I don't think
we're gonna talk about it. It was so funny. Okay, so it's Friday, 6:38. Lauren and Carl make it to the house, followed by Amit and his sister Noah. Amit's
who's
sister, gorgeous, amazing. She just moved to Brooklyn, hasn't been to the Hamptons yet. I love a New York City girl. Amazing.
Well, like how epic that like your brother's on this show and you just get to come to the awesome house.
Yeah, you don't have to have any drama, but you get all the perks.
I love
and also
this.
You're a sister. Everyone's gonna buy your drinks for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. And she's
gonna
put together Shabbat dinner.
Yeah,
so dope.
Well, let's be honest. Amit shows up to do a lot.
Yeah.
He's the prep,
Shabbat.
He's the griller. I'm like, I was so hungry. Siblings. Well, I was so hungry looking at this meal because it looked amazing.
We love siblings. So Danielle's at the house. Then Stephen, Kyle, and Lindsay make it. We're all ready. Kyle's happy Amanda's gonna have a good time with his friends. And now Kyle can have his friends. It's gonna be so fucking lit.
It's like, I'm gonna have as much fun as possible.
Stephen is not holy enough to cook a Shabbat. So
I love him.
We also need to dress up a little bit. So Shabbat is in the Jewish culture. It's the day of the rest. Or it's like be celebrating the day of the rest. And so you bring together your family and your community and you share a meal and just enjoy yourself.
Rest is Saturday or that like sundown?
Yeah, it's definitely not. No, actually, I think it's Friday. Shabbat or the day of the rest might be Friday. Because a lot of the Jewish community, like the Orthodox Jewish community in New York, they get their Fridays off.
Okay.
And then Sunday is like holy day.
Gotcha.
I am not Jewish. I'm
not either.
Very much off of very little, but that would be my guess.
I was thinking about the what's that Julia Hart show? Like My Unorthodox Life. Where Shalom, is that his name? The brother?
Shlomo.
That's it, Shlomo. He Shlomo is more religious, or like I'll say more strict, and he doesn't like use an elevator on those days. I remember like that's a good show if like you really want to learn more about the Jewish community.
I just looked it up. It is Shabbat is every week beginning sunset on Friday evening and ending after dark Saturday evening.
Okay.
So it's Friday to Saturday.
Okay.
Like Friday night, Saturday night.
And then they do the dinner and it's like a family dinner. I did know about the dinner part.
Yes. Okay. So where are we? The food looks really good. We find out Lauren's mom is Jewish, but she never really did Shabbat dinner, which I find like in a lot of houses where it's, half and half, like half one religion,
I'm sure
half
she's
another.
Never done it.
Yeah, I don't think, at least I had a friend growing up that was half Jewish, half Catholic, and though they celebrated both Hanukkah and Christmas, they didn't do Shabbat either.
I have a friend who's, I'll say, half Christian-ish. It's not like she's not like strong in it, either of the faith.
Yeah.
But she's definitely practiced because like I know her cousins on her Jewish side, like they do a lot of stuff. Like her family wouldn't sit down, and she's an only child, and do it, but like she's done stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's never done Shabbat.
It's very much based off, I think, the family.
Yeah, and I bet it's one of those things that if you're not in like the routine of doing it, you wouldn't just like pick a Friday to do it.
Yeah, and I think it's very much like your identity. Like I don't think either of us are like, hi, I'm Alicia and I'm Catholic. Like that's not part of my identity. It's how I was raised.
Yeah.
But like Amit says his Jewish identity is very important to him.
Yeah, honestly, it's more of a culture and a religion,
Yeah,
whereas like Catholicism is just like, well, I mean, we're not the best Catholics.
Don't
but
listen to us.
But like for us, it's like, oh, we just got to go to church on Sunday.
Yeah. If I even do that.
Oh yeah, we don't. Or I'm not going to speak for you. I don't.
So, I don't.
But like that's how I sometimes look at it. Is I'm like it's one day out of the week. Whereas I feel like Judaism sometimes is like there's so many aspects to it that is cultural too.
One of my good friends in college is Jewish, and she very much like it was a big part of her identity, and she really loved it.
Yeah, I love learning about it.
And it does, like, I think it brings you and your family and other people in the Jewish community together.
Yeah,
because like. So we find out Amit and Noah's mom passed away. He was 17, Noah was 14. And even though she was really sick, they still did Shabbat dinner every like Friday. Friday, Saturday. So I think that to me, like, right, if my mom passed, but this was something really important to her, I would be like, we need to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's very symbolic, I feel like. But I love him opening up. I love Noah. I'm a big fan.
Big fan of them. I want more of meat now. Like, I like when we get a little taste of each like person and what makes them them.
I
But I
want
feel like
Noah back again so she can bring out a meat and they can do more Shabbat and tell
I feel
more
like
about
the
their
only
story.
thing we knew about a meat prior to this is that he loves Coachella. Like, which isn't enough.
Yeah, and he's chill guy.
Yeah.
Also, he looks like a lesbian with a beard. So that's
he knows how to capitalize on a Friday night when everybody's out.
Yes, he got laid one time. We know very little about a meat. Okay, so then we're enjoying Shabbat dinner, but of course we gotta bring it around. Who's ready to see Kyle send it this weekend?
Frat boy, one arm pump. Woo, 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 woo.
And then we get it started because Shabbat's over and Carl and Kyle play hot potato with a watermelon.
Oh God.
Boys will be boys. Am I
mean,
right?
They did not drop it, which good on them.
Thank God. I
really thought it was gonna go over Carl's back.
Who was it? Like Lindsay or Lauren was like, can you stop throwing
it? Was Lauren. She was like, stop. And they were like, stop. They literally hot potato out of the kitchen.
Hot potato. Steven puts on a wig. It makes him look like Sia.
Well, oh my God.
To an animal party.
Yes. Yeah.
So they have costumes. And he's like, well, look, this wig. And Lauren's like, are you Sia? And then he goes into the shower and moons everyone. And it was he
does funny. Like a whole dance with his little ass out.
So funny. Okay, so we go to this animal party. We all love a theme. Sorry, Amanda, but Kyle is back. We're so happy. So now
I'm like, okay, yeah. Remember last weekend when we all said we were gonna miss Amanda? Now everybody's like, fuck you, Amanda. We're doing great.
Amanda. We're gonna take shots.
Kyle's
buzzkill. So it's 2:59 a.m. We made it back to the house. Someone put ice cream cake in the fridge.
My family has done this once to my birthday cake, and I was pissed.
Listen. Me and Noah are like, oh, what a mess. And Kyle's like, let me show you how classy we are here. Just starts spooning it into his mouth. Like,
here's the thing though, the amount of like liquid on that box thing looked like one piece was like wasted. If it was a whole freaking cake, I maybe could understand it more, but Kyle's like, can't waste it.
We can't waste this good soup. Am I right? So now it's 4:18 a.m. Kyle's eating something and calling Amanda, and she doesn't answer because she's out having fun with her friends.
I love it, girlie.
And he leaves a message. The message is, hey, how are you? Miss you. Love you. Hangs up.
Good on her, because last season, if he called, she answered, she came over.
No,
I'm so happy.
I hope, because I mean, it's 4:18 a.m. There's a good chance she's like asleep.
Yes.
I really hope she looked at the phone and went, nope.
Yep. Like double clicked that lock button, so then it immediately sends it to voicemail.
I love. Hey, how are you? Miss you, love you. So Lauren gets into bed with Carl. Steven finds Kyle asleep over 3 chairs and then tells him to go to bed. And then he gets up and Steven tells him there's granola on his face, and Kyle's so happy because he loves granola.
I hope Steven just sees or has some empathy for Amanda.
What did he say last season where he's like, I have to get drunk with the Barbie twins and their drunk cousin Kyle?
Oh, yes.
This is that. I just love Kyle. He's like, oh, I love granola. And Steven's like, it is on your
go to bed.
We're done.
It's literally one little piece. It's not going to make you happy.
So then Lauren and Carl are happy because they're naked. We see the blanket go up and it's blurred.
And some blurred.
It's blurred.
Yep.
So there's a dick
real quick.
So,
because when she got into bed, he goes, my pants are already off. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, are we sleeping together tonight?
Yeah, my pants are off. So then they have sex. And then Lauren asks Carl if he
loves
her.
Though. I don't know, because then this happens.
Maybe I thought they were having sex.
I thought they were just fooling around with clothes off. And because then, doesn't Lauren say like, do you love
me? And he says, yes. Can we have sex?
So I don't
that's
think
why they haven't had sex yet.
I don't think they have. I don't think he would have asked that if They already did.
If you are naked and drunk with a guy and you say, do you love me? He's going to say yes just to have sex with you. As Carl so greatly put it, yes, can we have sex? That is an exact quote from this man.
I can't imagine asking a guy in bed if he loves me.
First of all, let's start there. Those words are never coming out of my mouth.
Like, if last summer never happened and Lauren and Carl were hooking up this much and like no other girl was in the scene, like let's say Courtney from 4th of July never came and she asked that, I'd be like, okay, you know, they're both really into each other, this happened. But I'm like, he treats you so poorly. Also, he's not exclusive with you. He's not super into you. You guys just hook up. Like, don't ask this because you're going to get the answer you want, but the actions are not going to come with it.
It's not going to be good. So then we all wake up. It's Saturday, 11:05 a.m. You know, Danielle wakes up Steven. They talk about Lauren and Carl being together. Steven super hates this relationship. Can't stand it. 12:16 p.m. Lindsay's home.
Yeah, girl.
We caught her in the walk of shame, which, you know what, I don't really like. So she's just having to walk home. No shame involved, baby.
I know. I feel like we need a new version of it.
We do. Be proud of your walk, everyone. So she comes home with something she puts in the freezer that looks like meat. I am confused.
Oh, I missed that.
She goes straight to the freezer and puts something in it. So I thought it looked like a steak, and I just have questions.
I hope she got laid and got a steak. What a dream.
Yeah. So we find out she slept at a polo player's place. And today we're going to get ready and go to a pool party. So we all are getting ready, and Lindsay's already ready. And she calls Everett while she's waiting.
Oh, backsliding. Not good.
And he answers and goes, well, first he goes, hello. And she's like, hey. And he goes, what's up, stranger? Which I hate. I hate when people are like, hey, stranger.
I know, but that's like a good buffer phrase for like an ex.
I get, but that's when you know they're your ex, because they
I know, but like they haven't talked at all. So I feel like this was a pretty decent like
maybe
entry point if they really haven't talked once since they broke up.
Everett, I hate it.
Because I think it made him look excited to talk to her, but not later. He says, babe. And I'm like, no.
Oh, it's all bad. Okay. So babe. It's all awkward. Spending the night with someone new. Lindsay, of course, is going to compare it to her ex, Everett. And so now she's like getting in her feelings.
Oh, this is the worst. I've had this happen to me.
I know, me too. That's why I cringe.
I know.
Lindsay tells Everett she's been thinking about him and she's missing him. And he says, miss you too, babe. And then, you know, space isn't an easy thing for them. Everett constantly wants to talk and be around Lindsay. I know, but then Everett starts getting really distracted by drunk girls at this party. And then he's talking to some guy and Lindsay gets really upset. And she's like, can you go inside and go to the bathroom? And he's like, I'm in New York City. I'm not going to do that.
I was like, whoa. I mean, it started off really good where he's like, I wanted to talk to you. So and then it's like, no, I'm not gonna like step inside for 1 minute and miss out on what's going on just to hear what you have to say.
Talk to you. Yeah. Ugh. So it kind of ends with like okay, talk soon, bye babe. Kind of miss you, like, not enough.
That sucks. It's, you know what, it's always words versus actions. Like he's saying all the words, but he won't step inside for 5 minutes to talk to you.
I agree. Very great. Okay, so it's 1:20 p.m. Kyle chugs a beer on his way out. We're going to the pool party. There's only one cute guy at this pool party and he's not gay, so Steven's already over it. He's with all the straights. Straights suck.
We do suck.
I know we do. So Kyle's introducing himself to every girl he sees and he's drinking every drink he can get his hands on.
I wasn't worried for Amanda with other girls because he's being so quirky, and even with the way he's dancing with that like dancer, I'm like, you're so weird.
No, it was probably like drunk Kyle is like boobs and he's like, hey, what's up, ladies? I'm Kyle.
He's just trying to be
like,
funny
hey.
and social, and you're like, you're so fucking weird.
Yeah, and they're clearly working the party, so they don't want to hang out with you. They just are paid to.
Yes.
So yeah, so
they don't want to hang out with you. They're just paid to hang out with you.
Yeah, so Kyle's just like having a time. Lauren, though, pulls Carl aside and says that right now Carl needs to talk to Danielle at this party where we're all drunk. Now,
because he promised in the car he would talk to Danielle.
So Carl grabs Danielle and he's like, hey, Danielle, I know you and Lauren are having conversations involving me, and that's going to stop. And do you know how infuriated I get when someone who is not my parent or legal guardian going, and this is going to stop? No, you're not going to stop me.
Yep. Well, it's like, okay, this is not the moment for the conversation. You're not going to have her receive it well. If you want her to actually stop the behavior, you need to come with like respect.
Also, as two gossip queens, we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. You can't tell me to stop.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm in a position like this with my own family where it's like, I have heard some shit talked behind my back, and I'm like ready to have a conversation similar to this, but it's not going to be like, you're going to stop. It's, I will not stand for this, and we're not going to have a relationship if you're going to treat me this way.
Yeah, so you're like, going to stop.
I'm not going to make you do any action, but guess what? I'm going to have a reaction to what you're doing.
That would have been better, but drunk straight white male Carl's not going to do that. He's gonna tell Danielle.
Here's the thing is Lauren pushes him to do it in this moment. So he hasn't prepped, I'm sure, in his mind. He's like, I'm the big tough guy. I'm gonna do this. Protect the woman I might sleep with tonight.
You were gonna say love, and you were like, he has a lover.
No, I was gonna say the girl I'm into, but I didn't even think that was honest.
Okay, so Danielle says, like, I'm not fine. Like, I'm done talking about you. And Carl's basically worried that Danielle is holding on to something, and Danielle's like, actually, I have zero feelings for you. Don't flatter yourself.
I loved how Danielle's like, seriously,
give me some credit.
This is not even worth the conversation.
Yeah, she's like, are we done now? So Danielle then pulls Stephen aside, which I think is a fine thing to do as a girl who needs to tell someone everything.
Yes. But you got to do a little bit more subtly. She's like, Stephen, come here.
Yeah, Stephen, get over here. So Stephen's like, what happened? And, you know, Danielle's just like, I'm talking about him. I'm blah, blah, blah.
And here I am talking about
I know. And then Stephen's into it because he's like, you know what? They're making it everyone's business and they're being destructive in our house and like whatever.
Well, I do agree with Stephen that like their relationship is everyone's business because when you're living with everybody else
and you openly fight on weekends.
Yeah, we've already gone through one season of this.
Yeah.
We know what's happening here. And like there already has been some commotion or like some discussion. So like we're worried about how it's going to affect our house. If we weren't living together, I don't think it's anybody's business.
I agree. So then I love that now Lauren is sitting here and she's like, there's Danielle talking to Stephen about us. Like, but then, so she then goes to Carl and is like, hey, Danielle's over there talking about us. And Carl's like, what? And he gets up. And then Lauren's like, no, wait, don't. No, like.
She's like, I just want you mad, but not mad in action.
Yeah, I didn't want you to actually fix the drama.
I wanted you to see me as the victim and be like, oh, I can't believe they're talking about us.
No, but Carl, I know, right? No, instead Carl goes Hulk like mad. And so he goes up to Danielle at the bar and he's like, stop doing that. And Danielle's like, stop doing what? Which is the best because at this time, Danielle's not talking about them. So she's like, he's too late. And he's like, stop talking about me and Lauren. And she's like, you're out of line. And he goes, you're out of line. And she's like, you need to stop yelling. He's like, you need to stop yelling. And she's like, I'm allowed to have feelings. And he's like, no, you're not. I have feelings. And then he like leaves.
He's basically doing, no, I'm not.
Carl lost the fight because he just repeated back to Danielle what she said. And that's just you losing. And then you have Lindsay like, what the fuck is he yelling about? And then Stephen is like, I hate him. Like, I hate everyone.
I I don't know which car I'd want to go into. Like, because they're like leaving this group now, and it's like, what car do you choose?
I think I would be Lindsay. Because okay, think about it. You're just at the bar. You have no idea this conversation happened. Crazy Carl walks over and he's like, "You're gonna stop." And
I know, but I want to know what's going on, and I want to know the gossip. So I want to be in the Carl.
You want to be involved? I don't want to.
No, I don't want to be involved. I want to be a meat sitting there, not talking, but listening. I want to be in the front seat. None of us are a meat because you would start laughing. You would start laughing, and then they'd be like, "Stop laughing, Meredith." I want the front seat, so you can't really see me, but I can listen to everybody.
Meredith, we all know you would have been Kyle. That would have 100%. You would have said something. Okay,
100%.
So whatever. So it's now 3:20 p.m. Carl's yelling at Danielle, whatever. He's done. He leaves. Steven and Lindsay both think Carl's absolutely lost it. Carl then says he's putting Danielle in timeout, which
what? It's a
weird thing to say. So Danielle's not even surprised that Carl's blowing up out of nowhere, because that's the drunk vibe he's always had. Because never forget, Danielle and Carl did date, so she knows all his flaws.
Which is weird, because I feel like last year he was pretty chill.
That's because Ashley would have came after him. Because who was he going to fight with besides Ashley and Lauren? And you don't want to fight with them. So
I guess he didn't really have any problems outside of just like leading Lauren on, and Lauren was the upset one. It's not Carl was ever mad.
Yeah, now Carl's not going to get laid if Danielle keeps talking. So he's got to yell at someone. And he probably, you know, that saying that you take things out on the people you love most. He's probably very comfortable around Danielle. So he knows like she's not going to truly hold it too much against him if he yells at her. So okay, so whatever. Lauren and Carl then are in a car with Kyle, Amit, and Noah. And Lauren and Carl say that, you know, Danielle still has feelings for Carl, and this is why she's getting involved. And Kyle's like, I don't know, I've been around Danielle for a few weeks now, and I just don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't see that. I think Danielle is getting herself involved, but I don't think it's because of like feelings for Carl. I kind of feel like sometimes when you don't know what to do and you don't know your place in a situation, you just find one, you know, and she's and kind of, I mean, her place is to help the drama. I don't know.
I mean, Kyle starts to say like, I don't think she has like any feelings. I think like, you know, it's just like a relationship, and you guys are like in this relationship, and she really only knows Carl, so she's like doesn't have her friend kind of thing. And then Lauren's like, well, that's how you are with Amanda. You think I ever see you, but I don't say anything because you're with Amanda. And Kyle's like, what?
He's literally like, what are we? I don't even know what stances we're on at this point.
But then Kyle says, you know, Lauren, Carl never actually said he was dating you. And then that's when Carl's like, can we have silence, please?
He's like, I'd love to have this next 10 minutes of this car ride be silent.
Thank you so much. Let us.
I am still actively trying to sleep with Lauren.
It's fine. So we're back at the house. Danielle and Steven are sitting outside. Poor baby Danielle starts crying. She's very upset. Steven, though, such a good friend, is like, why are you crying? So Danielle opens up about how she like thought this would be really fun. You know, she feels uncomfortable. No one believes that she's over Carl. Everyone thinks she's like crazy. She thought she would have a good friendship, but like history obviously means nothing to Carl. I also think the stress of her not having a job and her spending this money for like not a fun summer is probably like very emotional. She also feels like Lauren's her enemy, and she just doesn't know what to do.
It does feel like that. It's turned into like this enemy situation, and Lauren and Danielle are on opposite sides.
Yeah.
But there's sad, like
poor baby Danielle.
Not much to do.
But it's okay, Danielle, because there's about to be drama next weekend that'll get you right on out of it. Because next time there's like some bridal party happening and Ashley's here. And we all know Ashley brings nothing but drama, which we love. Lindsay gets asked out on a date. Amanda and drunk Kyle are back together because what a weekend they had separated.
Good God.
Steven exposes Carl to Ashley. Ashley and Lauren fight about Carl. Steven confronts Carl. Ashley's not letting Lauren sleep with Carl. And then Ashley gets a watermelon.
It's confirmed.
Probably the same one.
Oh, the one that almost broke this week?
The hot potato. Okay, so it's time for us to do fun and not fun, where Meredith and I pick the most fun character and the most not fun character. That's not grammatically correct, but it's not fun, so we have to stick with it. Meredith, do you have any? Which one do you want to do first?
I'm in to do fun, and I think I'm gonna pick Amit. I loved learning more about him. I think his sister being in town was really fun. They always stay out of the drama, but they're on the sidelines, which is where I want to be.
You're right. Amit was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a hot take, but I'm gonna pick Kyle.
Nice.
Because listen, dude did get drunk. He pissed off Amanda a lot, but it wasn't held against him, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah. And
I mean, he had granola on his head. He called his girlfriend. He realizes he misses her. He's kind of fun. I'm into it.
You know what? And Amanda said, like, go get wild. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. So it's not like she said he can't drink when she's not there. It's that she doesn't want to deal with it. So you know what? I'm glad he really let loose on the weekend. He had away from her.
He's gonna do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not fun. Oh, so many options, huh?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm going Carl. Like, why are we repeating the same mistakes and getting ourselves involved in this and then yelling at Danielle? I don't like it. Like, I don't like it at all. He's basically being kind of two-faced between the two girls and is the one causing all the problems. And this isn't fun.
I'm not
like, Lauren's not even having enough fun with it, in my opinion, for him to be fun.
I'm actually gonna pick Lindsay for not fun, because listen, I think she's trying to have fun.
Yeah,
but she's not, and she's then, like, you see her almost begging for Everett to just give her a little bit of attention, and he won't, and she's still holding on to it. And I just want her to know that she's worth so much more. I hated Everett last season. She deserves way better.
It's sad to see her like backslide a little.
I don't want her to backslide. We barely saw her at the pool party, so she obviously wasn't fun there.
Yeah.
I'm glad, like, she slept with a polo player and got a steak, but I mean, like, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Okay, but yeah, what a good episode. This one was great. We really spent a lot of time on Julio, but that was by far the funniest part of this whole thing.
Julio fun. Julio not fun.
Okay, so before we go, be sure to check out our other podcasts on the A&M Podcast Network. Please rate, review, subscribe, join our Patreon, follow us on Instagram, do all the fun stuff. You're never going to get rid of us until we become roommates. So you might as well just embrace.